If they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, you can bet
Welcome in,
I'll move it over.
my
Good to be
fellow,
here. Let's Joe Rogan it up.
my fellow redheaded friend.
That's right.
Let's go. Power to the people.
The Redhead Boys.
The 2%
That's right.
of
2%.
the world.
Yeah.
Business owner for 6 years now. 7.
So we started, I
2016?
actually posted a video today that we started in 2017.
2017.
But I screwed that up.
7
It was
years.
2016.
It was, because that's
Yeah.
what you said at my sauna, so that'd be 8
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. So 7 seasons, but like 8 years. So we've had 7 seasons, which is like May through November.
Sick. What made you want to start Asphalt business?
So growing up, I was always kind of like trying to start these little businesses. Like for a while, I like found this thing. This was like, I don't know, grade 9 maybe, or even before that. Like found these like eBay courses where you could like download something onto a disc, and then it would be like courses on how to do something with your computer, like even an Excel course or something back in the day. I would download these onto discs, rebrand them, and sell them on eBay. And then made a little bit of money there. I don't remember why that kind of stopped, but
How? What? That's so random.
I know.
It's kind of bootleg.
I know. So like, since a little kid, I mean,
Always had a little bit of an
like what's the
entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, like the lemonade stands. I always
Yeah.
do those things. And then I used to sell jerseys in high school. So I would get the boys like Schwager to go out and sell jerseys.
Yeah.
And then if they sold like 10, I would be like, you can keep one. And then I'd sell like 50 of them, mark them up a little bit, and ship them in from China.
Oh,
Except-
like the NFL jerseys.
Yeah. NFL,
Yes.
NHL, all that stuff. And then one time the order didn't show up. And so that killed that. And I still owe some people some money, I think. But
$30 or something, or $50, however
Yeah.
much the.
it
Because
was like 30 each.
You're right. You'd buy them for
Yeah.
30 each, probably sell them for 50.
Mm-hmm.
That was a steal. I remember those orders.
Yeah.
There was always one person doing the big order of jerseys.
Yeah, like I outfitted the whole school damn near at one point.
And then your order didn't show up of how many jerseys,
Oh, it was like 50.
and then you cut the cord.
Yeah, people were pissed. But
I'm out of this.
I didn't have any money. I couldn't.
Right, you can't pay
anybody
people
back.
back. Tough to pay people back when you're not making any money.
Yeah, exactly,
When your
but-
margins are small.
Yeah, exactly. And then after freshman year in Duluth, a lot of the hockey boys were working in an asphalt company out of Maple Grove. And so I just said, hey, I'll join you boys, and worked a season there just for a company out of Maple Grove. And then transferred to Madison, and that's where my partner at the time, Brad Levesque, was going to school. And one sec.
Brad Levesque. Is he a Maple Grove guy?
Yeah.
Why does that sound familiar?
He was a hockey guy. He went to Maple Grove.
Okay.
But we had to pay for tuition, or at least a chunk of it. And so we're like, what do we know how to do? We both worked asphalt. And we're like, let's go for it. You're a doctor. Let's name it Dr. Asphalt. He was in school to be a brain surgeon at the time. So we named it Dr. Asphalt, and got a credit card for like $6,000, bought a little tank for like $2,000, financed a truck somehow with his dad, and drove to Chicago, got a truck, and the rest is history. I mean, it just absolutely blew up.
Bought everything on credit. Swiped a credit card.
Credit card.
20% interest.
Yeah, just debt.
Yeah.
Debt.
Debt.
And then we're like, we thought we'd be rolling in millions by the end of the first year. It was like 3 years. We're still in the hole. It's like, holy, this business thing ain't that easy.
No, it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that it takes like 5 years to really start making money in a business. When
Yeah.
you're starting your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, are you guys making any money today?
I mean, we are, but like we reinvest at a crazy rate, like almost to a scary rate. The amount that I reinvest the money is kind of scary, like pushes our back against the wall. Like this needs to work, or we're screwed.
We're out of business.
But like if we would take less of a growth path, we would have a lot of money. But I always reinvested, like more trucks. We need more people. If you're the right person, we don't have the right position for you. I don't care. If you're the right person, we'll bring you in.
Someone taught you that. though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure. Because you go to a lot of those courses. Where in like Aruba or something? Or Mexico? Anguilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Anguilla, I've been to several of those. I mean, I've listened to probably 1,000 podcasts, read a ton of books. I mean, every day it's putting something in my brain, you know.
You gotta.
It's just constant.
Yeah.
I'm like addicted to it.
Always learning.
Yeah.
Always working. Always learning.
Yeah.
We're working right now.
Absolutely.
Kinda. I call it work.
I think it's work, yeah.
Yeah, you might get some business. Who knows? You guys only do commercial for the summers, right?
Mainly.
Mainly.
We do a little bit of residential yet, but commercial's where the money's at.
Okay. How do you prospect for residential, or like if it's just like a one-off, like if it's a friend or something, or?
Yeah, like friends, or, you know, we run marketing and ads for commercial, but you'll still get your residential leads out of it.
Okay.
And so in Madison, we've pretty much cut that off. Just say, hey, we don't do that anymore. Here's a list of companies that can help you. But Minnesota's newer and a smaller organization so far. I think it's going to be bigger because it's a way bigger market. But we still take on a little residential here, like to fill in spots if we're slow. We got time in between commercial jobs.
Sure.
But like a driveway for seal coating is like $500. An average parking lot's like $8,000.
Wow.
So obviously you want to focus on that.
And how long does a driveway take? Like a half a day?
Like an hour.
Like an hour.
Seal coat. To pave, you can do it in half a day. Easy.
Okay, so if you pumped out 8 driveways, you'd make 4,000. How long would a commercial building take?
So our average job size is like 8 to 12 grand. We'll do like 2 or 3 a day.
Oh,
per crew.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 to 12,000, and you'll do 2 or 3 of those a day?
2 or 3 a day per crew. So we can do like 3 of those in Madison
Holy
a day.
Smokes.
Plus we're gonna have another crew, so we'll probably have 6 of those going a day if we can sell it.
That's crazy.
This year. And then Minnesota's kind of one crew. We do everything together. So like Madison has a seal coat crew, a crack fill crew, and an asphalt crew.
Okay.
So far, Minnesota's just one. If we're doing asphalt that day, everybody does that. Mm-hmm. If we're doing seal coating, everybody does that.
Why is it bigger in Madison?
Because that's where we started, and that's kind of like, it's just, we've been there longer. Like,
and that's where HQ
Minnesota's
is?
catching up quick.
Okay.
But we just had, you know, a lot of repeat clients over the years, and it's just, you know, it's like compounding, you know.
I mean, and parking lots just get beat to shit in Minnesota.
Yeah, potholes.
Constant.
We fix it, it gets fucked.
Yeah.
We fix it, and it's just a cycle.
Do customers, like if something gets messed up within like a couple of years, do you just go over there and fix it, or do you just redo the whole thing?
We usually got to redo it. I mean, seal coat's got to be done every 2-3 years. So it's not really like recurring because you don't have a credit card, but you know, as long as you did a good job, they're going to have you back.
Right. And they know that it's just kind of in the finances to do it every couple of years.
Got to budget it.
Wow.
Otherwise you got potholes and ADA problems and all that. So
it's so random to get into asphalt.
I know. I never thought I'd be an asphalt guy. But now it's like my life. Like,
yeah.
Everything I do is something has to do with asphalt.
What do you know about like the science behind asphalt? You know anything?
A little bit.
Like obviously you heat up a bunch of like kind of rock compounds.
Yeah. So there's oil in it, rocks, and like asphalt glue, which is emulsion. And I'm sure other stuff, but basically it's like bituminous. It's kind of like concrete, but it's more flexible.
Okay.
Bituminous is the word, like the science word for asphalt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just know that I hit a lot of potholes, and my wife bitches at me every time I do. Or she,
Yeah.
Jeez, relax. Scare the shit out of me. She does the same thing with squirrels. If there's a squirrel in the middle of the road, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's good that you're out there saving the roads. You guys ever do like city roads or anything like that?
We're getting into it. So we just hired a guy from a company out of Green Bay. He's been there 30 years. And he basically grew it from, 10 people to like 90. So we brought him on. His main thing was municipality crack fill bidding and projects.
What is that?
So like municipality is like the city of Maple Grove. Like they'll put out an RFP where it's public, anybody can bid on it, and then low bid wins. So
They just go with the lowest bid
they go with the lowest bid.
all the time.
Yeah, think about that. Like your bridges, lowest bidder built that bridge.
Wow.
Doesn't make any sense, but that's how it is. So you got to really dial your numbers in. Like if you bid this thing to be done in 48 hours and you go 55 hours, you're losing your ass. If you get it done quicker, then you're good. But it's cutthroat.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you quote something like that? Because you have to make money.
You got to figure out what
You just got to know your numbers
you got
to
to
a
figure out,
T.
yeah, what it's going to cost you to do it, like down to the T.
I mean, things you can't control, like rain. If it rains in the middle of that, does that
Yeah, it
delay
screws
you
it
a
up.
day? That
Screws it
screws it up.
Yep.
And that gets the asphalt wet. Probably doesn't help with drying.
Yeah, if it rains, you're done. Like if it sprinkles, you can wait a little bit, but you can't put the material on wet. Asphalt won't work. Like these are like $100,000 to $1 million jobs, so it's like this can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of scary. But
Yeah, that's freaky. And you spend that money on cold tubs?
cold tubs, a lot of health optimization stuff. Like I'm big into that, like
Yeah.
carnivore diet, gene tests, blood labs, stuff like that.
Gene tests.
Yeah, so you know Gary Brecka,
Yeah.
10X Health.
Yeah.
So he does this thing where he sends you a swab. You just swab your cheek and send it back. And
I
then
think you were talking
they
about
test like the 5 methylation genes. And basically those genes are responsible for taking your food and changing it into the proper form that it can be used by your body. And most people have mutations on at least some of those. So I had like 3 out of the 5 mutations.
What do you mean by mutation?
So your genes mutated, like this is real scientifical that I don't really understand, but
We're getting sciencey on this one.
like so if your genes are mutated, any of those 5, like your body can't process certain things. And then it lists out like
So it kind of tells you what to cut out of your diet and what to have into your diet.
yeah, what to cut and what you need to supplement with to feel normal. Like most people think they feel normal is how he explains it, but you don't. Normal is normal to you, but you could probably feel a whole lot better, especially if you figure out that those genes are mutated.
Yeah.
So I had 3 out of the 5, and I haven't ordered the supplements yet for it, so I'm excited to see what that's about.
Yeah. See how that helps. Mm-hmm. You feel yourself getting exhausted a lot or really tired throughout a day?
Yeah, usually like 3 o'clock I hit a wall,
Yeah.
and then I gotta like
Hit another coffee?
hit a coffee, hit a Unimate
Yeah.
or something, like go for a run.
The Unimate.
Yeah.
Talk about the Unimate. You were talking about that right before.
Yeah, so the Unimate is like a herbal blend from Argentina. It's basically like a
Little
natural
multi-level marketing.
Yeah, it's like a natural energy drink. But my boy Alex Lucic got me on it. And it is an MLM, so you can get people under you to sell it and then kind of grow the pyramid.
So how, yeah, I was going to say, how does that work? If it's a multi-level marketing, like that's essentially the same thing as a pyramid scheme, which in a general sense, like every company is kind of a pyramid scheme. There's one person at the top. The bottom line is usually the biggest. Mm-hmm. But multi-level marketing is just kind of another word for that, isn't it?
I think so, and I might piss some people off with that. I think so, but as long as the product's good, I think it's okay.
Then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, like he basically forced me to get on it. I was like, all right, I'll buy it. And then I did, and I started drinking. I'm like, wow, like this is
They give you some
this is
energy.
actually the real deal. Like
So
I stopped drinking coffee. I drink it again now because I'm on another level of productivity right now. So I'm like 3 of these and like 4 coffees a day just to get through it. But
What do you mean you're on another level of productivity? Like you're just hustling right now?
yeah, just like with 2024 came around, I just like found a new level.
Yeah.
And I've just been like, we need to get to here this year,
Quicker.
quicker.
Setting some
urgency.
gnarly goals.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, it's like, it's great energy. Just
Yeah.
like no jitters.
You need energy
Yeah.
to run businesses and be productive.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit that lull, dude, there's no going back. And then you start scrolling and
Scrolling, feeling bad about yourself.
yeah,
I'm procrastinating, but I can't help it.
you go in some dark holes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's new with you, man? I mean, we weren't very close in high school, but
I feel like I'm doing something new every day. Today, I worked my 9 to 5, which I work in transportation. So essentially, I'm a broker. So I align trucking companies with customers. So think of large customers like Target or Walmart or whatever. I find them trucking companies to haul their products to and from their warehouses. And then I went to my property just outside of St. Cloud that flooded last year to check on the progress because I got a contractor that's rebuilding it.
that's your property?
Yeah, and he's kind of a one-man show. So we meet up there every month and a half, 2 months, and just kind of go over what's going on and make sure the progress is going. And it's been a year now since the flood, like just over a year since I found it. It was like a foot of water when I went in there. I had renters going up there, and so I had the neighbor just go check on it because I hadn't been up there in 2 months. The neighbor kicked open the door, and it was just standing water. I was like, can you just shut off the electric and get out of there? She's like, sure. And then I went up there, and there was still standing water when I got up there, so it was all moldy and crappy. So it was a full gut. And then,
Is this a house or what?
It's a house, yeah. Yeah, it's a lake property, so I use it for Airbnb.
Nice.
And then I use it personally as well. We got a heck of a deal on this
Shoot me
thing.
the invite.
Yeah, for real.
How far away is that?
It's like an hour from here.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah, it's called the Briggs Chain of Lakes.
Okay.
The lake is really nice in May and June, but then July and August, it gets a little green because there's a lot of farmland surrounding it. It's not gross by any means, and it doesn't like smell. It just kind of like looks green, you know? And you kind of get that, ooh, the green lake. You don't know if you want to jump in that, but I don't know. I don't mind it.
You bought that when?
I bought that in 2020. I bought this house in 2019. I bought that house in 2020. And then I bought the Pillager place, I think in 2021 or 2022. But yeah, now I'm dealing with insurance on that Clear Lake property, which I don't know if you've ever had an open insurance claim for your business or anything, but it's kind of a pain in the ass getting money from them.
Yeah, I mean, we got our truck and trailer stolen this summer, and we just got the check for it. Like, we were on this job site. Sorry to cut you off.
7 months later. No, you're
story,
good.
But
No, seriously, you're good.
yeah, we were working in Osseo, and we had the trucks parked on the side of the parking lot, and the guys were working, digging out rip outs. Like, we were replacing squares on this property for Kyler Fisher, actually.
Oh, yeah.
From Maple Grove.
Yep.
And then one of the guys went to get water, and he's like, where's the truck? And Dane's like, it's over there, dude.
No, it's not.
I was like, no, it's not. So Dane goes over there, truck's gone. Brand new trailer. It was like the first job with this trailer.
Stop.
And the original truck, which I'm a little mad about because I wanted to like hang that OG truck up someday.
And I mean, is that like, that's a big truck? Is it a 250, 350?
It was a 2500.
2500.
It was the first truck we bought from Chicago, so it had some sentimental value.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, we watched the video. Two guys just roll up and hop in it and drive it away. Right past them. Like, the guys are head down shoveling. Drives right past it.
You posted that video, didn't you?
Yeah, a picture of it. Yeah.
And your boys didn't notice at all?
No. Like, when you're on the job, like, shoveling out,
You're
that's all you're focused on.
Right.
Like, truck driving behind you real quick, you have no idea.
They just left the keys in.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
It's on site,
Right.
Trucks might have been running even.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's brutal.
So, yeah, we've dealt with insurance.
And then
Like
7 months
forever.
later, you get a check.
Yeah.
Where's the inflation on that check?
We actually got more than it was worth than we bought
really?
it for, so I was like, we'll take it.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting about $70,000 from insurance, and the project will probably be about $130,000 to $140,000. So it's gonna be like double because
Yeah, that's a lot bigger. This was like a $10,000 truck, so that's a lot bigger claim. Like, I don't have experience with that.
Right. So like if people look at their insurance policies, you'll see like fire, water, like all the different things that can happen to your house, right? Whatever type of tornado hits your house. So my insurance policy, I didn't look close enough, I guess, but my water damage only covered 10% of the purchase value of the house. So if it's a $400,000 house, you get $40,000. or if it's $500,000 house, you get 50,000 or whatever.
Sheesh.
I ended up also having hail damage on the siding and the roof, so that's how I got more money. But for the water damage, I only got $40,000. So it's
That kind of sucks.
kind of sucks.
How did it flood?
But it is what it is. It's first world problems, first world problems. Just a pipe burst, boiler failure. Boilers suck if you don't live in the house. Boilers do produce good heat if you live in the house. But to have a boiler heat on a rental property that you don't use 4 months out of the year, not a good idea. Just because you don't know when those pipes are going to burst, and if they do and you don't have cameras, you can be screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it firsthand. Like, it was like hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. I don't exactly know when the flood started, but I mean, we damn near emptied that well. Like, it was pouring out when I got up, or when the gal got in there. And then I went in and turned the electric back on to see how it was flowing, and it was gushing water.
Damn.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's getting rebuilt. I'm going to essentially have a brand new property now, which will be really cool. And then we'll be able to recoup some of the funds once we get it rented back out.
So that's Airbnb. How does that work then? You just
You
list
just
it
set up
on
a
there and they
profile.
handle it from there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's more that goes into it. You have to host and everything, and you're kind of work as like the concierge, and you tell them how to get in, and you organize the cleaning and all the property management. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into properties. Like, there's constant work. Between that and the pillager place, it's almost a full-time job. So I'm just like you, constantly working. But I love it.
That's the best
Like,
way, right?
I like doing this. Like, this is technically work. I have this under a business. I'm trying to start selling stuff through it. And I mean, why not, right? Why not monetize everything that you do, or at least try?
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of part of it. I don't know. I don't exactly know what we're doing here, but
Hey, if you can make money just having genuine talks with friends and people you're interested in, what better way is, like, think of Joe Rogan. He just gets to, I know he did a lot before that, but now he just gets to, like, talk to interesting people and funny people.
Yeah, he did a lot before that. A lot. And he has, I mean, he's done thousands of podcasts. What has he done, like 1,500 or something?
He's got to be close to 2,000s now.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, he's the OG, first guy to start doing that.
I talk about this, but a lot on this, but the Protect Our Parks episodes are so funny with Gillis, Mark Norman, and Ari Shaffir.
I don't think I've heard any of those ones.
What? I thought you said you listened to every one.
Most of them.
Oh, come on. You're not a fan.
I usually pick, if it's like comedian or something, I don't. If it's something like, if Elon Musk's on there, I'm listening.
Yeah.
If
You don't like funny guys?
No, I do. I just
No bullshit from you,
honestly
or what?
feel like I'm wasting time if it's not something like
Really?
I'm learning about.
Yeah.
Unless it's Theo Vaughn. I'll listen to his shit for laughs
He's funny.
because he's absolutely hilarious. But
He's a
any other
clown.
ones, I'm like trying to get something from it. So
He is a clown. He's been doing it forever too. All those guys have, dude. It takes so much time, especially in like social media. It's such a like staple in business these days, but it takes a lot of time to learn how to do social media. It's hard. One, you have to be fearless. Like, you have to be able to put yourself out there.
yeah.
And like, that's not the easiest thing.
That's
in
the
the world.
biggest fear for a lot of people, including me, like introvert like me. It takes a lot to like get on camera.
You post a
do
video
content.
and like you check it in 10 minutes and you have like 2 likes and you're like, people hate me.
Yeah.
Is everybody talking about how stupid my video was?
My voice sounds funny.
I know. We dissect ourselves a little too much. I've gotten a lot better at just being like, screw it. If no one listens, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all that really matters. And if you're trying to do, what you love and trying to build a life that you want to live, I think that a lot of people will respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you see people in person, they're always like very like complimentary, and like it's admirable, and they enjoy listening. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's been a fun thing. And I talk to people local. So like, ideally I'd start partnering with like local businesses to try and I actually met with someone today, and I don't want to, talk about it too much because I don't want to jinx anything.
Don't want to spill the beans.
Yeah, but trying to partner with local businesses to, start doing some type of advertising or start whatever. That's kind of why I'm putting up cameras too, so people can start, throwing stuff on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can be like a advertisement.
Get some sponsors.
Throw some glasses on, the hat, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Just trying new things. Maple Grove's got a lot of people that are doing stuff, I feel like. Like, I talk to people from Maple Grove all the time on here. Like, we grew up with a pretty freaking sweet community.
Yeah, we did. I agree with that.
Like, it's pretty awesome what people have done. And I mean, not all of it's been, daisies and roses. Like, I've talked to a lot of addicts from Maple Grove as well, which was very prevalent when we were, probably in high school. Like, a lot of, well, not prevalent at the time, but from a bird's eye view now, like, you probably should have seen it coming. Yeah. But you're young and naive, and you don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. What I've realized over the past couple of months is when you're like 15 to 18 are such memorable years, like for your conscience. And I feel like we try to erase those years as we get older for some reason. Like, people are, oh, that was high school. Like, I don't even remember that. It's like BS. You do remember high school. Like, it was a very detrimental time, and not detrimental, but like it was a very...
Could be.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like everybody's life. I don't know.
I mean, I had a blast, and all I did was drink. I mean, that's changed.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't drink anymore, do you?
Not really.
Yeah. Are you doing like a 90 days or something?
75 hard. So
okay. You've done that in the past.
Yeah. This is the 6th time.
I thought you said you were doing a 90 thing. I thought it was 90 days this time for some reason.
No, so it's all year. It's the live hard version. So 75 hard is the first 75 days, and then there's 3 phases after that.
Oh.
Phase 1's 30 days, and then the last 3 phases are 30 days. And the last one ends the day before you started 75 hard the first time, or the first year. So it's like there's breaks in between, but it's a full year of just straight discipline work.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No drinking.
Not boozing in 2024 too.
Oh, yeah?
Let's go.
The whole year?
The whole year.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 2 months in because I started in early December, but Amy's pregnant right now with her 3rd kid. There's zero time to drink. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's going to be madness.
Yeah.
Dude. 3 years old, and I want to get into your experience with, stepping up like you did, but I just got to start with a story from today. 3 years old is just an age of insanity. It's
just call it
terrible twos. They should call it probably terrible 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible is a tough way to put it because they do have a lot of good moments, but I mean, the energy is just insane. No is their favorite word. So they don't listen. They are like constantly clinging on to you, and it's just, they have an insane amount of energy. So they're just go, 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 and they need you there all the time, and it's just nuts. And they're crying and throwing fits and tantrums. Today, I brought Wrigley to the cabin to meet with my contractor because I was like, let's get him out of the house. I don't want to leave Amy with both the kids because she's pregnant, and I'll get home and it'll just be a madhouse.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be pissed the rest of the night. So I took him up there, and we don't have any running water right now. So I go outside to pee. I'm like, do you got to come out? Do you got to pee too? Like, you can come out, pee next to me or whatever. And he's potty trained. Poops on the toilet, pees on the toilet.
Nice.
So I go, and he goes, no. So I go outside, I pee, I come back, and he goes, I peed my pants. So first thing, right when we get there, pees his pants. We have no clue.
Cooper Marshall style.
What do you mean Cooper Marshall style?
You don't remember that?
No, what do you do?
Can I say this on here?
Sure, yeah.
Cooper Marshall and
he pee his pants.
what was that? Wee Fest.
He peed his pants?
First year we went to WeFest, he had these gray sweatpants on. And like Dreyer and the boys would be like, Cooper, let her rip. He'd just pee his gray pants the whole time, same pants.
No way.
Just pee his pants. It's hilarious.
That is hilarious. It was exactly like that. He just ripped in his pants. And yeah, I was like, I thought, why didn't you come outside and pee with me? And we don't have any pants to replace. So I got him walking around in a towel. While my contractor's there. He rips off the towel. He's walking around like his shit don't stink. He's, bottoms off party or whatever you want to call it. And then he's running around, and I'm trying to talk to my contractor and go over future plans. Like, what's the trim going to look like? What's the ceiling going to look like? And where are we going to place the cupboards? And Daddy's splashing in this bucket. Daddy, come play, come play, come play. I'm like, just like, give me 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, the piss the pants, I guess, was kind of the, like, you just get up there. I go pee right away. Ask him if he wants to come with. Maybe I should have been more diligent about coming with, but yeah, he just pees his pants. And then it's like, this is how this is going to go. So for the next hour, it was just, he chose violence. And you try to be chill, but like the energy just gets so high that you just almost get blinded. To transition, I guess, like you've been a father figure for the last how many years?
About 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
And he's 7. So
7.
Started when he was 3.
Yeah, somewhere in the 3s. Yeah.
So
talk about energy. That little man's got some energy.
7? At 7?
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from 3 to 7, it kind of just doesn't stop?
No, so you're in for it.
Sign up for the long haul, I guess.
But he's definitely changed a lot in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Taking on his own personality.
Right.
And
taking
his own interests in things.
Can he like get himself into a car now?
Oh yeah, he gets himself in, buckles himself, shuts the door.
Right.
Makes food.
Yeah. Puts his shoes on, ties his shoes.
Oh yeah, he does all that now.
Underwear on. Does he shower himself and everything?
No, he doesn't. Well, he takes baths. We have this like old jet bath.
Okay.
It takes forever to fill up, but he goes in that. So
yeah, you use like 10 gallons of water to fill it up. Is it like one of those big
it's
whirlpool
like one of those
ones?
Whirlpool ones.
Yeah.
It's like drains. You can't shower after. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
It's like that big, but
takes up all the hot water.
I suppose he turns it on himself and gets in there.
Gets all the bubbles going.
Yeah, throws the iPad up, throws YouTube on, and he's good to roll.
Puts on some Blaze, or what do they watch at age 7?
He's really into Roblox.
Roblox.
It's like
I feel like I've heard of that.
It's like an online game that all the kids are playing, but he's really into that.
Okay.
So
interesting.
That and watch the little Mr. Beast here and there.
He's good. He's crazy with retention and getting people to watch entire videos. That guy is very, very smart and studied the algorithm and what makes people watch videos for a long time.
Yeah, he's like number 1, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a genius. I mean, he's hundreds of millions of subscribers. He might even be over 1 billion. I have no idea.
Jeez.
But he's got channels in other languages. Like, I mean, he's built a massive corporation just all on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Why didn't we think of that when we were young, you know?
True, I thought it was stupid.
Start ripping YouTube. I know.
We should have.
I know. And that's what you get blinded by when you're a kid, is just you think that, because when kids are mean, other kids are mean, and like, especially in like high school and middle school, like if you do something like that, you're probably going to get bullied. Mm-hmm. And they'll, you're lame, or you're gay, or you're, what's he doing posting on YouTube? Like, you can't, it's hard to try stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you do, you're putting yourself out there, and you don't want to get roasted in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
It's always freaking scary.
That's one thing to bring it back to Maple Grove. Like a lot of my friends from elsewhere talk about that, but and maybe it was just me, but I felt like our school and people that we hung out with were pretty supportive. For the most part, like
probably, yeah.
A lot of people talk about how they had everyone against them and this and that. It's like, or doubting them. I never felt that. Like everyone was always like, "Hell yeah, dude!" We had one truck, and they're like, "Hell yeah, keep it rolling.
Let's rock and roll, dude."
Yeah. So,
how many trucks are you guys running?
We got
Did you say?
17 trucks now.
17 trucks. Holy smokes.
They all don't roll at once, but there's usually like, I don't know, 10 out at once, 10, 12.
It's kind of a lot of liability on your end,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A lot of liability.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all got to be, everybody's got to have a FedMed card.
Yeah.
CDLs if it's overweight.
Wait, what's a FedMed? A FedMed?
Federal medical card.
Okay.
So if you're hauling, like, and Derek's my guy that knows all this, if you're hauling a trailer over a certain weight, with the truck over a certain weight, but it's under 26,000 pounds, you have to have a FedMed card.
I should
It's basically
know that
just
being
a
in
physical.
trucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should definitely know that sort of stuff. But I don't. So here we are.
Well, you probably don't need to.
Yeah. So like in 2024, you're trying to expand a lot more, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to do that? Are you going to use more social media? Or are you going to
Social media is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've just kind of started getting into that a lot more. We're going to up our sales team and probably bring on an accountant. And yeah, I mean, people. We don't
Sales team, do they have potential to make some decent money?
Yeah, so we're actually hiring right now if anybody's interested.
For
we
real?
have 3 salesmen right now. We need another full-time one in Minnesota and another full-time one in Madison. So like, sales, with us, it's based on commission. So like there's no limit.
Right.
And there's a lot of potential. Like last year they were busy just with the inbound leads the whole time, the whole season. They didn't
Uncapped
have to
commission, as much work as you can bring in
Yeah.
and as much work as you can fulfill, obviously.
yeah, because if we sell more than we can do ourselves, we'll subcontract it.
Oh,
So there's no limit.
wow.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of connections in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably find subcontractors pretty easy.
Yeah, we have a list of them, and last year we subcontracted probably 30% of our revenue.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. So you just take a percentage, or when you subcontract something, do you just tell them a different price than what you quoted the customer, or like how does that work?
There's kind of 2 ways. You can either sell it a little higher or sell it for what you sell it for, and then
Right.
ask your sub, can you do it at this price?
Yeah. Say like, I need to make 10% on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the more common way is to get a bid from them and
Okay.
then just put your markup on it.
Sure.
And we're like a value company, at least in the eyes of the client. So like we can sell jobs that are more than the next guy. If it's not a government job, it's not low bid,
Okay.
So we usually sell our projects for higher than most. And then, so it makes it easy to subcontract it out.
You're a value company. Does that mean
That's not the right word. We're a
higher end?
higher
Right,
end.
higher, like you're a more expensive?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And you have to be because you're small.
Yeah.
And that's what I guess a lot of people don't understand is when you do start something, you do have to charge more because there's a lot more costs that go into things.
Well, actually, we used to be like the cheapest.
What?
When we started, we were the cheapest just to
gain
get
business,
revenue in.
I guess. Well, so why'd you switch? Because you guys just weren't making enough money?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you didn't have enough equipment to be cheap anymore?
Yeah, and a lot of the companies in our industry don't know their numbers, so they
Or just shooting in the dark?
just shooting by unit price.
That's the service industry in general.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like so many people just look at this. Oh, I can do this roof for 15. And it's like no measurements, no
Right.
nothing. You're just shooting that out there.
Yeah.
Like,
So when you really figure out what it costs, then your prices are way higher than you thought.
yeah,
So once we figured out what this shit actually costs, we're like, oh boy,
we're not making any money.
digging a hole here.
I know. And that's, you got to make money to be able to survive. Otherwise, you can't really do it.
Yeah.
What did you go to college for?
Financial planning and entrepreneurship.
So were you thinking about being a financial advisor or something?
I was. Yeah, I almost quit to go back to that. I'm thankful I
Really?
didn't. Because there was a hard 3-4 years when we started. Like, I lived in the shop for 2 years.
Wow.
Was sleeping on the couch.
Just working 24 hours.
Just 24 hours a day.
It's insane.
Sometimes the guys would have to wake me up in the morning because I was up all night, like trying to get payroll in or something. But yeah, it was terrible. First 4 years sucked.
Paying off.
It still sucks, but we're at a different level now. So
Yeah.
it's, we're finally
Starting to
getting
pay
there.
off
Yeah.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I don't exactly know, but hopefully.
Yeah, it's starting.
All those
starting
hours.
to pay off. Yeah.
Sometimes you do something and you're just putting in so much work and so much effort and you're seeing nothing back. And you're like, am I just wasting my time here?
Tell me about it. Yeah, that's the name. That's my life right there.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? Am I like
Could have been a
crazy?
financial planner, damn
Right.
it.
Yeah. Be easy. I clock out at 4 every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've done the 9 to 5 or I'm doing the 9 to 5 thing and my aspirations are not to stay in it forever.
Yeah, I've never done it, so I don't know what it's like.
I think there's pros and cons to everything, but I don't know. I think there's something in people or in entrepreneurs. Like there's just some driving force that you want to do something on your own. You want to set your own schedule. You want to kind of be in a leadership position.
Yeah, I think it just boils down to you want more.
You want more.
You just want more than...
You want to continue to learn and you want to, be able to do new things. And like your role is probably transforming a lot into leadership.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And like how to lead. How many employees do you have?
At the height of the season, we had about 30.
30 employees. And when you started, you had what? It was you and 2 other guys? Or just one other guy?
Just me and my partner at the time.
Okay.
Whoa.
So you and one other guy. So now you are leading 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30 different personalities that you're managing.
Yeah.
That you have to manage each and every one of them in a kind of a different way.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Everybody reacts to things different.
Yeah, and a good leader, and this is something I've learned. I'm not just like a leadership guru, but you got to learn how everybody takes criticism differently, how everybody takes like significance differently or praise.
Yeah.
And then you got to lead everybody kind of separately.
Right. And that it's so complicated because if you give someone too much praise, then they can take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't give someone enough praise, then they can feel neglected.
Absolutely.
So there's this fine line or gray area where it's like you got to learn to live in that.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do that? I don't exactly know. You probably listen to a lot of Ed Milet or...
Yeah, keep Ed Milet in the ears and
Right.
start to figure it out. But
it's tough.
yeah, you can give the same praise to 2 people and it affects them 2 different ways. And then you just kind of learn to, you just learn to do it separately.
And you hope that you have other leaders within the company that have your back, and a lot of your employees. And if you are a really good leader, a lot of them will.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm sure a lot of the guys that work with you are probably around your age. Do you have any guys that are older than you?
Yeah, pretty much everybody that's not in the field is older than me.
Okay.
And then the field guys are anywhere from 20 to 30, 33 about.
Okay. So like your sales guys are all older than you?
One's younger, and then 2 are older. And then my operations manager and vice president are both older.
You ever get into it with any of your employees besides your brother?
No, I don't get into it with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a little soft,
Well, you're a chill guy.
Yeah.
Like just in
And
general.
that can be a problem.
Yeah. You let people walk over you think?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. Happens to me too. How do we get past that?
I don't know. Working on it.
I think you play the long game on it, honestly. Like, I think the dividends will pay at some point.
Yeah.
It's about being pragmatic, right? And taking a step back and...
I think it's better to be that way than a hard ass.
Right.
Because everybody hates you.
Right. People, and when people are around you, then they're fearful of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Dave Portnoy is a very entertaining guy, but I think his scares the crap out of his employees, and I don't think he has a whole lot of meaningful relationships in his life.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe a couple, but even like you see him and like Big Cat on screen, and I think like even that Big Cat, is still under Portnoy, and I don't know, outside of his family, I wonder how close he lets people get to him, or if he's just, always kind of a asshole to his employees.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, he's doing something right.
For sure. He's running $100 million business. 100%. Yeah.
And maybe that's the reason he is where he is. You don't know.
I know. And there's a lot of different ways to get there, that's for sure. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I value relationships more than anything. Like more than any type of money, more than any type of product. It's all about the relationship. And I think if you can place all your value on the relationship, whether it's with a customer or an employee, long term, it will work out. Like the stars will align.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but I've bought into that. And maybe I'm just convincing myself a total lie that I'm telling myself, but I'm going to live and die by that sword.
It's a good one to live by.
Yeah. So I think, and like, don't change your personality, right? Like, why would you change who you are? Like, you're laid back. Like you said, you're kind of an introverted guy.
Mm-hmm.
Be that person.
Yeah.
And like work within the traits that you have. Right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say don't be friends with all your employees, but me and all of them are boys, and
yeah,
that can cause issues,
like.
but I think it's better than like not being friends with everybody I'm spending my whole life with.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like we'll go to the baseball game or the
Twins
Vikings
game,
or Packers game.
I saw
and it's
you
like
guys.
we're hanging out like boys.
You guys went to the Lambeau game or something last year, didn't you?
Yeah, so we always go to a Vikings game with the MN crew, and then a Packers game with the Wisconsin crew.
Okay.
And I always wear the Vikings jersey at Lambeau. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Packers are good this year, though.
Yeah,
this will probably come out like maybe after the Super Bowl, so I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel like the Packers have a shot this year.
I think so.
They're kind of scary right now. They're hot.
Yeah, they just rolled over the fucking Cowboys.
But anything can happen any given Sunday. Football's a crazy sport. I try not to watch a whole lot of it, but I know that a lot of people do.
Yeah, once the Vikes are out, I tune it out.
Yeah, I probably watched like 2 Vikings games this year. With kids, dude, and businesses, it's so hard. Like I'm constantly doing something.
Yeah.
If I'm not working on my business, I am with my kids. And if I'm not doing either of those 2 things, I'm probably on a date with my wife or something, which is once every couple months. You just got to learn to live in like this fast-paced, crazy life. And like it really makes you be present with where you are. And
yeah, see, I struggle with that.
Being present.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're always somewhere else. Like I could be doing something somewhere. I could be in Madison helping with something.
Yeah, exactly. I need to learn to be where my feet are. Like I can be at home having a conversation, but not really. My head's thinking about something else. Like, what did you just say? Missed that.
Do you ever meditate?
No.
No. Shut your eyes and focus on your breath?
No.
I've heard that helps. I don't meditate at all, but I've heard that helps. Get you grounded when your mind starts racing, or just walking around barefoot in your grass.
Yeah, some grounding.
Feeling the ground.
Yeah, I get into that.
You got to do it.
I'm all about all that stuff.
You got to do it every day.
Yeah. How do you do it now with the winter? Still do it? Just go out there in snow?
Yeah.
That'll do it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I sauna all the time. Dude, and I know that you're thinking about getting one too.
Yeah.
It's the best purchase. Or just come over and sauna with me.
I'll just start popping in there. You won't even know it.
You're more than welcome. I mean, I am sauning 7 days a week now. Because I'll light mine up every other day. And then I sauna when I'm at the gym too. Oh, yeah. So when I'm not lighting this thing up, I'm in the gym doing like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Makes you feel so much better, dude.
And you get like addicted to it. Your body craves it.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Same with the cold plunge. As much as I hate it, like nowadays, it's like this. I feel so good after that. There's like nothing better. Did
you have it as a hot tub the other day?
Yeah, so it heats up. I still got it on hot because it's outside.
Unbelievable. So so it's not a cold plunge anymore?
Not right now.
So you're not doing...
No.
Did you stop doing the cold
I
plunges?
had to because it
it's
says
so
right
cold?
on there below 10 degrees. If you keep this on cold, you're going to screw it up. You're going to ruin it. And there's no warranty because it says right here, you got to move it inside.
Okay.
Or put the heat on till the temperatures go back up. So it's just
you got
been
the
on
heat
hot
on.
tub mode for about a week.
Nice. You got a little hot tub.
Yeah. That's a nice little machine.
You can always go outside and roll around in the snow if you want some cold exposure.
Yeah, just turn the shower on cold, does it?
It's the brown fat and the shock proteins is what Gary Brecka says.
Yep.
The shock proteins.
Cold shock proteins, yeah.
Cold shock proteins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've said heat shock proteins in the past, but
You get that from the sauna.
okay.
Yeah.
So you get heat shock proteins from the sauna and cold shock proteins.
Yes.
And these, do they help like get rid of brown fat or
It activates the brown fat.
activates the brown fat? Which brown fat, what does that do?
No, that I don't know. I just know it activates the brown fat and it's good.
Okay. It's what you want. Maybe it gives you energy.
Energy, yeah. I mean, mental clarity
Yeah.
is a huge
Absolutely.
part of cold plunges.
When you get out of a cold plunge, you're like wired.
You're ready to go.
Yeah. You want to get high on nature? Hit a cold plunge.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
that's a serious hit.
Yeah, I was just listening to Gary Brecka today. He was talking about like the high from cocaine's like 9 minutes or something.
I think I've seen a similar clip, or at least I've heard the audio.
Yeah, and then a cold plunge, the dopamine will last like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And like I can attest to that. Like I'll get on the computer and put out more emails than I ever could before just because I was in the cold plunge. Like it just turns something on in you.
Yeah. I won't do it I won't end on cold at night because it gets me so energized. But
Yeah,
if
be
you
up
go
all night.
Yeah, you'll be up all night. But if you end on hot, usually it's still your body's like kind of wiped out after.
Yeah, and your body temp lowers after the sauna because it's
Yes.
trying to get you back down, which is what you want for sleep.
Yeah.
And the opposite for the cold plunge, your body's like super hot, trying to shake and warm up.
Do you sleep pretty good?
Not really.
No.
No.
You're up all night tossing and turning or what?
I think I'm a mouth breather at night. So I've been thinking about like using hostage tape to
You
like,
should.
close that off.
Yeah.
Like I'll sleep 6 to 8 hours.
But you wake up and you feel a little
But
tired
I feel like
still.
shit when I wake
Right.
up.
When you
Most
should
of the
not.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should not if you're getting 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. 8 hours. I don't get 8 hours.
Yeah.
More like 6 average.
Yeah. Bedtime, midnight, wake up time, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Or 1
Pretty
a.m.,
much.
7 a.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I try to wake up at 6 no matter what time I went to bed. So if I screwed around and had to stay up late, it's kind of a punishment. It's kind
Being
of
a
how I
night owl.
run myself.
Being a night owl is tough, dude.
Yeah. I'm like a night owl and a morning person. So how does that work together? I don't know.
I have no idea. Seems like I'd be heavily addicted to coffee, which I am addicted to coffee. But I don't know. I've been kind of a sleeper lately. I feel like I've been sleeping until 8:30, 9 o'clock. I slept until 9:45 the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I gotta chill. My wife was up with the kids for like 2 hours before I got up. And I haven't drank in a month and a half, so I wasn't drinking the night before. I just probably went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, which
Oh, so you stay up late?
I stay up late and I'll watch TV or whatever, scrolling my... Dude, reels take so long to edit.
Yeah.
And when you're editing something, dude,
Time flies.
it's never done. Even
Right.
when you post it, you're like, you find the imperfections
Yeah,
in
yeah.
everything. It's one of those things. And I never experienced this with my podcast because I do keep this very raw. I don't cut a whole lot. I'll like minimize like slurping or like do a little bit of audio that's unpleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I keep it pretty raw. But oh my gosh, if you're editing videos, it's just, you just can go and go and go and go.
Do you enjoy it?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than emails and shit.
100%.
Put some music to it, watch it 1,000,000 times.
Dude, and it was crazy. This shows the power of social media. When we were raising money for Gareth's daughter, cystic fibrosis, every time I would post, sales were just going up.
That's awesome.
So
dude.
I'd post a reel and we'd get 15 sales. I'd post a story, we'd get 3 sales. Post another story, 2 sales, whatever it is. So I mean, yes, you're reaching out to 1,200 people or however many people follow you, but really you're talking to, the 15 people that are hopefully purchasing from you and want to help support the brand and want to help support good causes. And that's kind of like right now, that's what I want to use this for, is to kind of hopefully give back in some way and, help businesses thrive. And like I've had multiple people on here that have gained business from being on here. So
that's amazing.
And hopefully I can
use it for
that.
some good. I mean, that should blow it up,
Yeah, and I don't have any intentions of being, the number one podcaster in the world. It'd be cool for sure if I was at some point, but like start small. And I want to start local and like build my name first in, the Twin Cities area, and then second in Minnesota, third the Midwest, and then fourth nationally, if it ever gets to that. But who knows?
It will. Just keep her moving,
Yeah, when you spend 8 hours a day, though, doing another job, it takes a lot of time away from building, which is like when I'm in the office, I'm like itching to get out of there because I'm like.
Do you work I work in
Prairie. I work at home 2 days a week, Mondays and Fridays, and then I'm in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which I also don't mind going to the office. We have a walking treadmill, and they have a gym at the office. So a lot of time when I'm in the office, I'm spent moving and doing, healthy things. And I eat well when I go to the office. I usually have a salad for lunch. So it by no means is like bad for me. It's just I want to continue to build. And it's just an 8-hour roadblock where I could be doing something to build my business, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's the same as what I was talking about where it's hard for me to be present.
Yeah.
Like I want to just get back to the computer and keep building.
Right. There's always something you can be doing.
There's always work to be done.
There's always work to be done. And you can find that even at a 9-to-5 job. People hustle and bustle all the time. We got guys in my same exact role that they're working probably right now at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. They're just always logged on because they're trying to build their portfolio.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No, I think you can work yourself. You can definitely overwork yourself and burn yourself out. But like you're into a lot of other things. Like you're into health, you're into fitness, you're into like, spirituality, I guess. And we should talk about that that video that you posted, but that probably helps a lot preventing your burnout. Yeah. Is that like you're getting your mind away from the hustle and bustle and the growth. Yeah. Even though you're probably still thinking about it a little bit, at least you're finding other hobbies.
Yeah, and a lot of creativity comes out of doing those other ones for my business.
You always come up with the best ideas when you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, like driving or on a walk. It's like, bang. Like I have just like so many notes on my phone. That was a great idea. Why didn't I think about that in the office? Because you don't think about those things in the office. It's always when you're doing something else.
Something random. Yeah, do you do like audio notes? Or do you do it just like right in your notes?
I speak to it and it types it out, that thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Siri, take a note for me.
No, I just go on notes, hit the thing that you can speak to, and it types it for you.
What do you want it to say?
Oh my gosh, Siri just heard me.
What do you want it to say?
I knew she was going to hear me there. That's nuts. But I don't know what you're talking about with
Yeah, I'll show you. So like when you go on a note, you just...
Oh, yeah. The voice to text.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Write out a whole bunch of notes like...
Oh, look at that. That's a whole social media plan.
All this stuff I plan on talking about.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's always on a walk or a run. I'm just
I
gotta stop and record that. Or
right.
Forget.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing to read off of something. Like if you have like a paper, a computer behind you, and you put a camera in front of your face, it's okay to read off of something.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're getting the message out. Because sometimes talking just raw is hard.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's
I find myself
hard.
fumbling on this podcast all the time. Like, blip,
Yeah.
blip, blip, blip. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about. It's hard. Conversations
that
are
happens
just
to
hard.
me especially now when I'm like getting into this, like starting to tell my story. I'll have it all ready to go, and like I can say it fine. Camera's on. Oh, like
I forgot.
can't even get one word out.
I
It's
know.
It takes like 30 minutes to warm up.
and that's why I actually was like, I'm hesitant on the cameras. And I may not even post the video of this episode, but
Send it to me at least.
yeah, you can take a peek at it for sure. But it does add pressure, like even to me, because I'm never on camera, like unless I'm posting it or taking a video of myself juggling something or whatever. I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah, something about the camera right there can like switch people off.
I know.
Me included.
And like when there's no camera, like there's really no pressure.
Yeah,
'Cause
why
people
is
can't-
that?
I don't know.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Because
Like it's just a little thing looking at you. I don't know.
cares?
Freaks you out though.
wave to it. Yeah. One of my friends that was on here a couple episodes ago, his name's Harvey Martin. He's the human performance coach for the San Francisco Giants and works with a lot of professional athletes.
You got him on here?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's a beast. Anyone who's listening right now, if you want to listen to a good episode and you haven't listened, go listen to Harvey Martin. I've done 2 episodes with him. He's a genius, psychological genius. But he was talking about the different characters that we play throughout a day. He's like, isn't it cool? Like right now we're just playing the podcast character. Or he said right at the beginning, he goes, you know how I know we're on a podcast? And he pointed at Yanni was with me. He was doing it with me. And he goes, you look like you're in your podcast character right now. Like I feel like your voice has changed in this since we started.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you think we play a different character? And he's like, I think we play different characters in every scenario. I think when you're upstairs with your kid, you're playing the dad character. I think when you're alone with your wife, you're playing the husband character. And I think when you're with your friends, you're playing the friend character. And then 2 days later, we had a phone conversation and we were talking about character again. And I was like, dude, I can't stop thinking about you like talking about switching characters because I try to live my life in one character. Like if I can be the same person in front of a microphone, in front of my kids, in front of my wife, in the sauna, wherever, I'm just always the same person. I feel like I've really gotten in touch with my soul and like who I am. Because I'm not trying to be a bunch of different people. I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not. I'm just always myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to go write. And he just hung up the phone because he's writing. He just finished his second book and he's just a writer. He writes every single day.
He just goes, I'm going to go write.
Yeah. And then hung up the phone. He's like, that's gold. I'm going to go. Boom. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how a lot of our conversations go. But he's just, he's a wild intellect and talks about a lot of cool stuff. He'll probably be massive at some point. I mean, like in the world of baseball, it's pretty wild because he works for the Giants, but people are getting traded constantly. So like if a lot of the guys that he works with at the Giants, if they go to the Texas Rangers or whatever, they'll tell their coaches that they worked with this human performance coach that they need. And then the Rangers will reach out to him. And then another guy from the Tampa Bay Rays or something will tell his coach. And then you start getting all these offers. And you're like this little guy doing the human performance that no one thinks about. And you have 6 teams that are like trying to get you to go.
So like what does he coach them on?
How to
Human
breathe.
performance.
How to breathe in high intense situations. Does a lot of grounding. Does a lot of sauna. Does a lot of cold tub. Walks around barefoot in the outfield before games with the players.
Yeah.
Does a lot of meditation, sound bowls. Just a real hippie-like guy, honestly. Very holistic.
Seems interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, he came over. He was in the sauna a ton, actually, when he was home, but he just moved back to Arizona, or out to Arizona, I guess. And then he works in San Francisco, so
Yeah.
he's never coming back to Minnesota, though. He's like, I'm getting out of the cold forever.
So he's from here?
He's from Michigan, but he played baseball with me at Mankato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd like him. He's an interesting guy. You should listen. You should go back if you get time and listen to one of his episodes and see if you can follow along.
I'll tune in and see.
Because sometimes, like, listening to him, it's hard to follow along with what he's saying because he gets so deep in what he's talking about psychologically. Yeah. Like, he goes on his thought process is just insane. And, like, I had a lot of people reach out and be like, it's pretty crazy that, like, you were continuing to have that conversation. Like, it was, at times, it was hard to follow along.
Yeah, he's just getting real deep or, like, talking fast.
Yeah, just really deep, complex, like, very complex. And the mind is so complex. And, like, he knows so much about how the mind works and what it needs and what fuels it. Him and multiple other people are one of the reasons that I'm not drinking this year. He doesn't drink, and he was like, I've never felt better in my life. My neighbors don't drink at all, and they're just amazing parents of 4 kids. My sister's husband doesn't drink at all, or he was a former alcoholic and hasn't drank in 3 years, and I've never seen him look better in my life. Like, just his face is brighter. You can tell his energy's better. Like,
yeah,
just an aroma.
It really is just a poison, you know? It can be fun, but it can fuck your life up.
And think about the last, how many years of our lives we spent beating it up.
Oh.
Beating up our bodies. Like you were talking about in high school, you just partied.
Dude, from like 14 to...
14 you started partying?
From like... Yeah, what grade is... How old are you in 9th grade?
14 or 15 probably.
Yeah, so from like then to through college.
Holy smokes.
That's what we look forward to. Mm-hmm. That was it. Drinking.
Yeah, drinking.
Yeah, I was big into drinking.
Yeah, you guys always were talking in Trailer Park Voices.
Yeah, well, we still do.
Yeah, the Trailer Park Boys, one of the best series ever. The Trailer Park Boys.
The funniest show I've ever seen.
Funniest show of all time.
Still, when I get around like Bullinger, Gunner, all them boys, Reed Miller, it's like straight Trailer Park Boys talk. What's up, Bubs? You know, all the Trailer Park Boys stuff. And then there'll be like people from other groups that we don't know, or like weren't part of our group growing up. They'll just look at us like, the hell are you guys saying? It's funny.
Some of them catch on to it.
Some of them do. Like, some people know Trailer Park Boys, but it was really big in our friend group, so we all talk that way.
Ricky was always my favorite. Like, I was always up to no good.
Yeah.
And you never knew what was coming out of that guy's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, back to that trying to be you in all areas of life. How's that going? Is that hard?
No, I feel like, and this is why I couldn't stop thinking about it, is because I feel like I have been diligent, I guess, about being that way for a long time in my life. Like, I feel like it's been just kind of a natural practice for me to just be the same person everywhere. And it probably throws some people off sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like I try to make it, like I probably actively and now like probably subconsciously think about it. Just staying in my lane and, you know, being who I am. And if people don't like who I am, then it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. We live on a floating rock with 7 billion people.
I know.
Plenty of other friends to make.
You ever just think about that? Like,
all the time.
What the hell is going on? Like,
all the time.
You have a bad day, and then I do this a lot lately, actually. Like, I'll be having a bad day, and then I'll just, like, realize we're on a rock in a universe. Does that even make sense? It doesn't register. And what is that? What does that mean?
I always
sound ridiculous, but I honestly think that way.
I think about that whenever I get angry. What am I doing? Why am I angry? What is making me angry? Why am I feeling this way? What is going on? We're just here hanging out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be angry about, especially like with your kid. You always regret yelling at your kid. And it's probably been really easy. I'm not going to say that. That's stupid of me to say, but easier maybe because you entered his life at the age of 3. So like for you, it's probably like you're not going to be as hard on him, or at least until probably a couple years down the road when like comfortability is like really there, right? Like, because that relationship takes a long time to form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like over the last year we've really finally came close to each other. Like before that, it was kind of I'm just some guy.
Yeah,
there
that's
now.
been around.
And recently, it's been a lot more like a dad and son type of relationship, and it took a while to get there.
Yeah,
and I'm not a great dad by any means. Like there's a lot to learn, and I made mistakes, but we're starting to get there now.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
What do you think like helped excel that?
I think just a lot of it had to do with me being ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you think it took 3 years to kind of prepare and just be like,
yeah, 3 years to like prepare, like, holy shit, I am a father figure. I better act like it.
Right.
And
now you're like, I'm done preparing. I'm in it. Like there's nothing else to prepare for.
Yeah, no matter what happens, he's, mine to me, like my son.
Right.
I'm going to treat him that way no matter what happens. So
yeah. That's
and
amazing.
a lot of it was him getting comfortable with me, and like even stuff like helping with his homework. In the past, it was like I didn't do that stuff. I was just the guy there,
Yeah.
And now I've taken a lot more responsibility in like his homework and
cooking him
doing
some
stuff
meals.
with him, making chicken nuggets every night.
Yeah, chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
Getting him on the beef, like trying to get him healthy. He'll always ask to like go to DQ after school.
Yeah.
He's like, I ate healthy though. I ate healthy at school. I only ate the meat.
So let's go to DQ.
He's trying to model after me so he can get some DQ after school.
I'm sure Marissa's not too happy if you bring him to DQ after school.
Oh, no, she don't care.
No?
No.
I guess at 7, things change. But if you give a 3-year-old sugar, it's like giving him cocaine.
Yeah, he's the ultimate night owl, so.
Oh, he's just up all night?
Normal bedtime for him is probably 11, midnight.
Jeez. Oh, my gosh. What time does he go into his bed? Like 11 or midnight?
We're very loose.
Oh, really? Is he's running around the house?
He does what he wants.
Really? So like right now at 10:07, he's probably zipping around the house somewhere.
He wants. Hanging out, watching
TV.
Roblox. We got to tighten it up for sure, but he's got some freedom, that's for sure.
At this point, like, I don't know how far back you can go and start retracting.
But he's also like doing really good in school, popular, plays sports, good at sports. It's not like we're effing him up.
Why try and fix what's not broken?
It's working. Like he's excelling everywhere. He's
You're
like
letting
in
him
advanced classes and shit.
You're letting him be himself.
Exactly.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
I feel like it's so important, like, as a parent, to let your kids be themselves. You obviously want them to listen, and you want to teach them things. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to learn something, they're not going to learn it. And if they don't want to listen, they're not going to listen. You can't force someone to listen. I can't force you to listen. I can't grab your ears and scream in your ear and say, listen to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, that's how my parents did it. We didn't have rules, really.
Yeah, they were just loose.
Like, honestly, in high school, we were always kind of like the ones, all the parents would be like, you're going over there. They just drink and do drugs and shit. We all turned out pretty damn good. So they just let us do whatever. That's kind of what, we're doing with Liam. So
yeah,
I think it'll work.
Yeah. I mean, just be chill, right? And like, you want your kids to be comfortable around you. I think that's like the most important part.
Yeah, comfortable, still respect you.
Yes.
It's kind of the ultimate.
But like, if anything ever happens to them, you want to be their first call. If you're not your kid's first call, that would be like, if my kid went to jail and I wasn't the first person that he called, I'd be very beat up about that.
Oh yeah, that would be the worst.
Called his friend or called whoever else. Like, that'd be horrible.
You don't want them to be scared. Like if they mess up and they're too scared to like call you because you're gonna yell at them. That's not how I want to do it.
Not at all.
You tell them what you did is wrong, but I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
And
people make mistakes.
I'm gonna learn from this.
People make mistakes every single day.
Yeah.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Sometimes mistakes are huge.
Yeah, they can be the pivotal moments in your life.
Dude, I mean, did your class have any opioid issues? Your class, or any younger or maybe a little bit older?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so, really.
Okay.
I know it was kind of like a thing at Maple Grove, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. It was definitely a thing. I mean, multiple people died.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends got addicted to opioids. Like starting with Oxycontin, moving to heroin, and then God knows where after that. I don't exactly know. A lot of them won't even, talk about, or they won't even say heroin or the H word or whatever. And it's tough to, you don't want to pry too much, but you want them to express. And like a lot of them, I want to tell them that it's not their fault. Being an addict is being an addict, yes. But the fact that these drugs, a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs, were put to market is preposterous. That Oxycontin was something that a doctor prescribed is preposterous. It's heroin in a pill.
Yeah.
And they were selling it by the truckload. And a lot of people got addicted in the last, 20, 30 years. And a lot of people blame themselves. A lot of addicts blame themselves. And a lot of addicts have overdosed or committed suicide, have gone into crazy amounts of depression and anxiety. And I think a lot of addicts put a lot of self-blame on themselves, and I don't think that it is 100% their fault.
Yeah.
I almost think it's 50-50, to be honest. The fact that these drugs were out there, accessible for people, if you make something accessible, people are going to use it. That's a fact.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way. I've always kind of been like, it's all on you, man. But now that you say that, it's
if you break
like,
your leg,
yeah, you're going to get those meds, and then
you're going to get those meds. And then if you get hooked on those meds and then your leg heals and your body becomes dependent on those meds and you start having withdrawals because you can't get those meds.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, and maybe I'm lucky because I never had that. Like I got an addictive
same
personality. If I would have had those drugs, maybe I would have fell down the same path,
It's freaky to think about, dude. Because, I mean, so many people around me were, not so many, but multiple people around me were definitely involved in doing some of that stuff. And I think a lot of it was after we kind of disconnected and probably went off on our separate ways, but still, like, it all starts somewhere, right? And it probably, I think for a lot of them, it started, either during their last year of high school or going into college, or if not before.
Mm-hmm.
Super sad.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a few people, but I didn't think it was a huge problem, at least with our class.
I think it's a growing thing in a lot of suburban areas because I think we are in an opioid epidemic. Like, I think we're getting over it, but I think there was it was a massive thing where loads and loads of people were getting addicted to prescription medicine.
Yeah.
That's not how prescription medicine should be.
Oh, wasn't there this like some Netflix thing about
painkiller? Yeah.
Purdue Pharma or something
Purdue
like
Pharma. They're the ones who brought Oxycontin to market.
that? Yeah. Like that
The
was
Sackler family.
Straight marketed to teens.
Yep.
I didn't care.
It was a party drug.
Yeah.
The people who were selling it to the doctors were also doing it in the bathrooms and were completely hooked on it. The people that were telling the doctors that the people that are addicted are just addicts were addicted to it. And it's if you haven't seen Painkiller or listened to Peter Berg on Rogan, it's a must. I would say.
Yeah, I watched
if you
that
know
Painkiller one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
The girls who were selling it to the doctors were doing it at parties. And then the main character, that girl, she ended up trying it, right? Like at that party or whatever that they were doing it at.
I think so.
Like the work party.
Yeah.
It was a work party.
Yeah.
And they were all doing Oxycontin in the bathroom. And she's like, wait, what? You guys are actually doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that Oxycontin isn't as heavily prescribed anymore after all this. I hope it's not, but screwed a lot of people up.
Yeah, you'd think they're figuring it out, but then again, it's all about the money. So,
And though they were business people.
yeah, it's like, what's the next thing? Like Ozempic screwing people up.
Yeah.
All this shit?
What is Ozempic
poison.
doing? Isn't that stuff supposed to make you skinny?
Yeah, it's supposed to make you lose fat, but it's screwing up your muscles. Like you're losing your weight in lean muscle.
Oh my gosh.
On top of all like the real serious problems that it's doing like to your organs and stuff. It's
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
And that's about all I know about it.
Don't take Ozempic. For anybody listening. But, I mean, we've been ripping for about an hour and a half now, so I'm going to shut her down. Is there any final words that you got for the people? What do you want to leave the people with? A quote that you live by, or a piece of advice, or the floor is yours.
Piece of advice, I guess, and something I live by. And it's actually something I got from Ed Milet, but I connect with it well, is every day just try and improve your being in all ways. Fitness, attitude, skills. Just become addicted to improving your being. And that's kind of what I do on a daily basis.
Improve your being. Thanks for listening. Love you all.
Blow my blues away.
Woo-hoo!